In this pedigree, we will be analyzing the phenotypes and respective genotypes of a few of the Gallagher family members from the hit TV show Shameless in reference to the heritable trait Gallagheropathy. Gallagheropathy is an autosomal recessive trait that is characterized by excessive drinking, aggressiveness, and promiscuity that often leads to time in jail and an extensive network of illegitimate progeny. Now, since this is a recessive trait, we already know that all individuals who exhibit the trait will be homozygous recessive for it. Proband of this pedigree is Peggy Gallagher, who is known for her time spent incarcerated throughout the show and is the first exhibitor of the phenotype. With an unidentified male partner, she had a son, Frank, who is homozygous recessive as well. The pair had another son, Clayton, who does not exhibit the phenotype as he successfully made a life for himself, but must contain the dominant allele in order to not exhibit the trait. Since Frank is homozygous recessive and his brother must contain the dominant allele in order to not be a victim of Gallagheropathy, the unidentified father must be heterozygous male, since the only way in which a homozygous recessive individual, Peggy, can mate with an individual of the dominant phenotype and have a child who is also homozygous recessive, Frank, is if the individual with the dominant phenotype is heterozygous. Clayton must also be heterozygous as the only dominant phenotypic possibility of a cross between a homozygous recessive and a heterozygous individual would also be heterozygous. Frank then went on to marry Monica Gallagher, who also exhibited Gallagheropathy, and the two produced 5 children who were predisposed to being homozygous recessive and exhibiting the trait as well. During her relationship with Frank, Monica had an extramarital affair with Frank's brother Clayton, and the two had Ian Gallagher, who is also homozygous recessive. After his divorce with Monica, indicated by the parallel strikes between the two, Frank married and divorced Queenie Slott, who had to be dominant for the trait as she did not exhibit the effects of Gallagheropathy. The two went on to have Sammy Slott, whose actions were just as reckless as her other half-siblings, making her homozygous recessive, and her mother ultimately heterozygous, as indicated by the cross we made earlier between Peggy and the unidentified male. Remember, the only way a homozygous recessive individual and an unaffected individual can produce a child who is homozygous recessive and affected by the homozygous recessive trait, the unaffected parent must be heterozygous. And here are my references. I have the lecture slides and the photo of the Shameless cast.